J-Man here for another Spawn comic review. Spawn, number 339 from Image Comics. So I'm currently reading, of course, all the Spawn titles. If you know that, you know that if you've been watching all my Spawn videos. Spawn's my favorite comic series, all of them, all four of them collectively are my favorites right now. My number one favorite, I think, is Gunslinger. But this is probably number two or Scorched. I don't know. This was really good this week. They continually get high grades, and I grade every comic book or movie or TV show using my SPACE system, which stands for story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 to 2. 0 is garbage, 2 is good. So it's really 0 is bad, 1 is good, 2 is great. That's it. When you add up all your scores, you have a final total out of 10. That's your rating. Okay. Every comic book, movie, TV show, whatever I use SPACE on, I use it to compare the comic to itself and its peers. So you can get high grades that way, right? Like I wouldn't compare this to Giant Size X-Men #1 and say which is better, you know? It's like this one revolutionized X-Men and started a new team. This is just number 339 of an ongoing series. Like, it doesn't work that way, right? I wouldn't compare this to Alan Moore's V for Vendetta or something like that. That's not how I do it. So these Spawn books typically get 8s or higher on my reviews, which means they're in the really good. Like, every comic should just have a 5 or 6 out of 10. That's like, you read the comic, you're like, yeah, that was cool. That's it. If it's a 7 or 8, you're like, whoa, this was like really good, you know? And then 9 or 10's like, wow, I've got to collect this. I should be buying this. Like, what am I doing? I might read it again, recommend it to my friend, you know, that kind of a thing. So really, like, a generic comic is like a 5 or 6. That's sort of a pass, okay? That's not really a great score, but it's a pass. When people give 2 out of 10, I saw someone review some movie the other day. I won't mention the movie, but he gave it like a 2 out of 10. I'm like, I mean, that's really bad. Like, a 2 out of 10, I mean, I wouldn't even know, I can't think of anything offhand that's like a 2 out of 10 that's been like so utterly disposable garbage, you know what I mean? There are a few 3 or 4s out of 10 though, because you can grade things below average. So if you give the storyline a 0.5 out of 2, then that's below average. So realistically, you know, you bought the comic because you have some interest in it, so you're probably going to like it in some way. And because I'm comparing this to itself, this is $2.99, so still $2.99. Wow. So yeah, $2.99. When you pay your $2.99, what do you get? What value do you get out of this comic? That's what I'm rating. And compared to other Spawn comics. So, you know, is this a good issue? Or is this like, what? This was just like, this issue sucked. It was a filler. Why am I reading this? You know, that's sort of how it works. So let's get into it. For the storyline, I'm liking storyline a lot on this one. I gotta tell you. I'm damn close to giving this a 2 out of 2. But I'm giving it a 2 out of 2. How do you like that? I'm giving it a 2 out of 2. Look, the dead zones, so Spawn locked the dead zones. So this is an ongoing thing. Spawn locked the dead zones. Nyx got a hold of half of them a few issues back. I don't remember what series, probably in Spawn a few issues ago. So Al's like, okay, well, I've gotta, you know, deal with that. In the meantime, Haunt, if you remember Haunt, has that disease or whatever. I don't remember exactly what it is exactly, but he needs a cure, and supposedly Heaven's got the cure. Spawn's kind of stringing him along, and Haunt's like, you know, maybe I should have joined the other team, like, because what is this? I'll get into more of that with a character section, but that's just the basic story. Spawn and Haunt are going into Heaven to acquire some weaponry. So there's a weapon that can help Spawn in his battle. And in the meantime, Sin is trying to reclaim the throne of hell. So this book has got 2 things going on at once, and both are interesting, which is why I'm giving it a 2 out of 2, because I'm very interested in what's going on with Sin and his kind of like quest, and then Spawn and Haunt, I'm very interested in that. So very good on the story. I really enjoyed this comic a lot this week. Really good. All right. After that, we've got the pacing. I'm going to give the pacing a 2 out of 2. Because I actually thought this was well paced. We had a few pages of this is actually perfectly paced. We got a couple pages of the story, set it up. Story with Spawn, couple pages story with Sin. They both have a little bit of a scuffle. Spawn fights a guy. The guy he fights is friggin' awesome. Well, he doesn't really fight a guy actually. Sorry, that's a bit of a more like Haunt does stuff, because in the dead zones you don't have your powers. But there is a scuffle. So a little bit of action, and we got back to the story. I could say 1.5 out of 2 to ding in a little bit to say I would have liked maybe another page of fights. We've gotten a lot of fights in Spawn. So again, if this was a standalone issue, I would give it a 1.5. But because it's an ongoing story and we've already had quite a lot of good battles, I'm going to still give it the 2. So I really, really like this a lot. The artistry, I'm going to give it a 1.5. I almost gave it a 2 because I actually really like the colors here. So the art's always great in Spawn. So, I mean, you could almost give every issue of Spawn a 2 out of 2. But again, we're comparing it to other Spawn comics. The colors here are amazing, though. I don't know. I'm really close to giving it a 2. The only reason I'm not, it's a bit panely. But man, I don't know. I'm really, oh gosh. God, man, this is tough. This is tough. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 2. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 2. I do like this art. I mean, I'm looking at it again right now. It's really nice. It's nice. The pencils are always great and Spawn. Inks are pretty good. The color here is just so good. Oh, this last page is so awesome. I don't want to show. I can't show you the last page. I know it's been a couple days. I'm late on this review. I didn't want to show you the last page. Yeah, I'm giving it a 2 out of 2. Screw it. I'm about to give this a perfect score, I think. Because I'm gonna give the characters a 2 out of 2. I really like what's going on here with Al. You know, he's always got his secrets, and Al is Al. That's how he's gonna be. You know, can you trust him? Can you not? I like Haunt. I like that he's conflicted, and Daniel's like, you know what? We got to stick to the game plan. It's like, I don't know. I like this. This character's grown on me big time because I didn't really care about this character before. And remember, I left Spawn on issue 50 something. I returned on 300. A lot of people did return on 300. Whatever, right? It is what it is. You're like, oh, Spawn, that's cool. Let's get back into that. So I didn't go and I do have the gaps filled digitally. So I am buying from 300 on. I have the physical comics. 1 to 30 something. I have my physical comics. But then in between that, I filled the gaps digitally. I will try to get all the Spawns if possible, but it is tough to get some of these later. Even the later ones, it's tough. But I'm liking this Haunt guy. He's really grown on me over these things, over these last few issues. Sin is bloody awesome, man. I thought Cagliostro was cool, even when he was a good guy in the beginning. He's just badass. This whole, the brothers, why am I losing their name? Cain and Abel, this whole Cain and Abel angle that they've got is wicked. When the last page introduces this character, I don't know if this is a brand new character or not. If this is a new character or not, let me know in the comments. Because this guy looks badass. I don't want to show it to you because it could be a spoiler. Though really, does it really matter? You know, maybe I can show you like a corner of it. There you go. Yeah, awesome. And enjoyment factor 2 out of 2. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Perfect score. Enjoyment, the way that category really works is you can give it any number you want. Because sometimes you think a story wasn't that good, but you like the comic anyways, if you're being objective. So the enjoyment category gives you the opportunity to add 1 or 2 points to a score that you feel might need to be a little bit higher. The way I personally look at it is that I'm thinking, would I buy this comic? Yes, obviously, right? Would I recommend it to somebody? Yes. Did I actually like the comic? Yes. You know, do I want it on my pull list? Yes. So, you know, yes. Okay, so there you go. A lot of the Spawn comics are going to get a 2 out of 2, 1.5. I think 1.5 maybe is the lowest I've given. Sometimes there's maybe been a couple where I thought this was okay and I gave it a 1. Nothing below a 1. So I think it's always going to be a good, like a 1 out of 2 score. But yeah, 10 out of 10, guys. I didn't think I was going to give this a 10 out of 10 when I read it. And I just thought, you know, maybe it's like a 9 or something. I don't know. I really like this comic a lot. The cover's really nice too. So, yeah, let me know what you thought of Spawn number 339, still going strong, longest running independent comic. Is that a thing? World record breaking comic. In case if you forgot, it's on the inside cover, just in case you don't remember that it's the best. But, ooh, look at this. Next issue coming out with. Pretty cool. All right, guys, that is it. Let me know what you thought of Spawn in the comments, and that'll be it. All right, guys, until next time.